This is Barbara Elistad with the Mesquite Citizen Journal, and we are here with Crescent Hardy, whose announcement seems to be imminent that he is going to run for the 4th Congressional District in Nevada. So, good morning, Crescent.
Good morning.
So you're ready to announce. What does that mean on a personal level?
On a personal level, I guess it means that I'll continue to do the hard work that I've been doing the last 2 or 3 months trying to prepare for this announcement. So.
Okay. And you said, you told me before in a previous interview that you would announce if you thought the campaign money was there and the donations, so apparently it's there.
Apparently it's moved forward. It's met, I'm currently on the what they call the Young Guns program. It's
okay.
on the radar. That means that there's a certain amount of money you have to reach, a goal you have to reach by a certain amount of time, which I'm on that for the National Republican Central Committee. Now we've got other goals they set forward to meet, so we're just working towards those. So.
What are some of those goals?
Continue to raise money. And then you move forward to the next program. So. Okay.
Any large campaign donations that you want to talk about? Any extra large?
I think everything that you can see it on the federal guideline, what the report. So.
Okay. All right. Where do you plan on having your main campaign headquarters located?
We'll probably have one here in Mesquite and one in North Las Vegas.
Okay.
The main ones.
You know, when they first created the 4th District, 2 years ago, I asked the people who were running then, I'm going to ask you the same question now. The 4th District is one of the largest geographical districts in the entire United States. I mean, it takes up almost from one end of the state to the other. And it has a very distinct blend of urban residents and rural residents. That's my kind. How do you blend the wants and needs of a large urban population with a large rural population? Oftentimes those are at odds with each other.
Often they are, but that's kind of why I feel like that I fit in this best, is because of my knowledge of the state, living here all my life and being involved in politics a little bit with the city council, water district. I understand the rural issues, I understand the urban issues. Being on the RTC, Regional Transportation Commission, for a number of years, being on the Technical Advisory Committees for a number of years, both the Regional Flood, in Health District. So those are all elements of being involved in both urban and rural in Clark County. It's, people don't think about it, but Clark County has probably the largest rural school district in the state also.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. All right, so let's just get right to the issues, and the number one issue in the nation, because we are going to talk a lot about national issues, a little bit about local. Obamacare.
Obamacare. I'm still definitely think it needs to be repealed. I think it's going to be devastating to this nation before it's all over with.
Why?
Why? Because of the mandates, or the backing off of having the businesses implemented right up front. I think it's the next big shoe to drop. People aren't joining up like they said. We're not getting the folks that it was intended to do. The uninsured are not applying for it. The people that are applying for it, the people that's already lost their insurance because of people getting dropped because of the requirements of Obamacare, or the.
Okay. Well, Governor Sandoval, who is a Republican governor, was one of the first ones to sign on to Obamacare and create a state health exchange. It's getting mixed reviews. Do you agree with his policy of doing that?
I think that what Governor Sandoval wanted to do, most of us agreed with it once we saw what has happened. The federal
you were in the state legislature.
I was in the state legislature
at the time,
and we felt like, after explanation to it, his explanation was let's go ahead and put it in place. We were already starting on an exchange system prior to that. So move ahead. The federal government's going to pay for it. Put it together. They're going to pay for the first 3 years of implementation of this situation. And if it fails, then hopefully we're taken care of. But if it works, then I guess we're ahead of the game. And it's already proven that we're well ahead. Our website was working much better than the others, which still is not perfect. I've got many constituents here locally and all other areas that are having challenges with it. It's really frustrating to people. And plus their health care being dropped, especially senior citizens being dropped and moved into another program, is frustrating for them, and they still ended up going to the private sector. I know of one that just went into the private sector because he couldn't get it accomplished through Obamacare. So,
well, most of the seniors are probably in Medicare.
Most of them are. Most of those people were already into that situation, so they were jumping over to the other program. So it didn't solve anything there. So.
And one of the other issues with Obamacare right now is that more people are joining Medicaid than are signing up for the health exchanges. The federal government's going to pay for that also in Nevada for, what, 3 years? And then the state is going to have to start kicking in even greater amounts of money as we go down that road.
That's correct.
Where are we going to get that money to pay for the Medicaid?
That's a good question. Where we're going to get it. Medicaid has always been an issue with the state. It's struggles to keep up. So it's one of those issues that's going to have to be addressed. This is a federal law that was shoved down. It was the Federalist Papers. If you go back to when our Constitution was developed, it was the two-party system was always supposed to come to a common agreement. Never was it intended that we'd have a partisan laws. It basically null and void. It should be basically so.
Let's go on to the other hot topic now in the nation, the extension of unemployment insurance. I think it was supposed to be extended out again to 99 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, and that was reduced down to 73.
There's a lot of people hurting in our state. I agree. There's a lot of people that are on unemployment that aren't hurting. They just continue to stay there because they'd rather do that than go to work. We've seen that in our own business, people we've invited back to work. But with that being said, I think there are many that need it. We need to support those that need it, but we need to find a way to fund it. Right. We can't continue to go down this path of just raising the debt ceiling. That's one of the issues I'm running on. As a business person, I have to figure out how I'm going to pay my debt, the bills. I'm going to have to figure out how I pay my employees, continue to have to balance the budget. It's been a challenge. No doubt about it over the last 4, 5, 6 years. So, but continue to have to do that. So.
Well, let's go right on in. Thanks for that segue right into the budget deficit and the budget issues and the debt ceiling and those kinds of things. You know, if you would be elected to Congress, what are you going to try to do about this, knowing you can't do it alone?
You can't do it alone, and that's one of the frustrations I think most congressmen have. Is you can't accomplish things on one side or the other. Nobody's coming together. The thing that I think I bring to the table is I've already proven that I can work on both sides. Got to know the speaker very well, and a number of others on the other side.
In the
state legislature.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you know, we don't always agree on things, but there are things that we can do that were good for the state. We come together on those issues. I'm a good listener. I believe that I'm willing to listen to anybody that's willing to listen to me. And when you listen, you have an opportunity to get to know truly the other side's issues. You may not understand all the time, but that's how you solve problems, is getting to know both sides, their issues. Every state's a little different. So you have to look at your representative from other states and their issues and try to work those issues together. So that's what my desire is to maybe bring that together, where we had what they call the most collegial session that we've had in 30 years.
You were what, second on the ladder in the last legislature as far as the assembly?
Assistant minority leader, yes.
Assistant minority.
Florida.
Okay.